Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Guys of Magic. This is Hunter, Shane, Steven, and David. Say what up, boys.
Yo, what's going on?
What's up, peoples?
What's up, nerds?
We are back, this time taking a look at another day of the Lost Caverns of Ixalan spoilers, October 25th, 2023. We got a good amount of them today. So let's go ahead and just get started right away with this first one called Bloodletter of Aclazotz. It's 1 and 3 black for a 2/4 creature vampire demon. Got flying and says if an opponent would lose life during your turn, they lose twice that much life instead. Very powerful card. This kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, David. This kind of screams you.
I mean, I don't know about that. Like, this is a wound reflection, right, on a creature?
Sure.
I suppose, yeah.
So I don't know. I it's kind of hard to cast. I do like. I don't know. I like the creature. I'm just not super sold on it. I do think this is probably still going to be like good enough to potentially see play, and I think that in a limited environment, this is just absolute bonkers. Because I mean, like this thing on its own is going to hit for 4 plus whatever other kinds of pain you're going to be bringing to your opponent. It's just that like that triple black pip kind of be hard. I do feel like this probably fits in just like in only mono black or like maybe black that's like maybe splashing white.
I'm cool with that.
I think in standard this is going to be in a mono black deck.
For sure, dude.
Dude, pair this with Shieldred. Cool.
Jesus Christ.
I mean,
4.
By that standard, though, Shieldred's just good enough on her own to win games.
That's true. And the 4 slot is already kind of heavy in that deck, dude. This is another 4-drop. Being the Shieldred is the 4-drop. So I don't know if you want to have...
Shieldred also takes away life on their turn, so it doesn't actually pair up with Shieldred, so I retract my statement.
We got there.
Yeah, the flavor text there, Shane, if you see it, it says, I don't know why this was printed at Mythic.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't see that right. I don't have my glasses on.
No, it says it right there.
I mean, from a limited perspective, though, like that's what defines rarity. I'm really curious to see how things move forward with the whole like booster pack thing. But like this card getting dropped against somebody in like a draft, this is going to close the game out stupidly fast. So I can 100% see why this card needs to be at Mythic.
That's true.
The new booster packs don't come out until next year.
That's true. But I mean, they're getting ready. They said they're designing sets differently for them, so that's maybe what they're doing.
I don't know.
I like this card. I think it'll see play.
I do too.
Moving on to Deeproot Pilgrimage. It's 1 and a blue for an enchantment. It says whenever 1 or more non-token Merfolk you control become tapped, create a 1/1 blue Merfolk creature token with hexproof.
This gives kind of quick.
Yeah.
This is good.
This right here is my swag.
I think this is a fantastic card. Granted, you cannot swing with the team and get that trigger. It only triggers once. I think that's a really good safety valve there for 1 or more non-tokens.
That's true.
It also doesn't proc itself with the tokens it's making.
Sure.
Yeah, but if you have Merfolk with tap abilities, or if you do have a forced tapping like style ability on your side of the play, like this could be pretty cool.
Oh yeah, you'll get.
That's where I was gonna go with this.
Board full of Merfolk, and they get hexproof. Like you'll be targeting the 1/1s, but either way,
the board will get out of hand very quickly.
Yeah, this coming down for 2 mana is pretty solid.
Yeah, it's a good rate. I
hey
like
guys,
it.
Let's say it, guys.
Good card, good. Yeah.
Good card, great.
Moving on, we've got Preacher of the Schism. It's 2 and a black for a 2/4 creature vampire cleric. Got Death Touch. It says whenever it attacks the player with the most life or tied for the most life, create a 1/1 white vampire creature token with lifelink. And whenever Preacher of the Schism attacks while you have the most life or are tied for the most life, you draw a card and lose 1 life.
That seems solid.
Hate it.
It's whatever.
That seems really solid, though.
Do you actually hate it, David?
I don't know. It's kind of a cool little effect. I mean, I guess. Yeah, no, I still hate it because like the second that you're like ahead on this, like you're no longer going to be getting the 1/1. I guess this might be fine in EDH where you have multiple opponents. You can kind of like divvy out that life loss and kind of like hopefully keep track of people so that you can continue to get the first ability on it. But I don't know.
Second ability is still good to draw a card.
It is. It is still a good ability. I guess what it is that like I don't like cards that kind of inconsistently do what they do, and this has 2 different modes on it that are kind of inconsistent in that regard.
Well, giving it death touch makes it so you can keep it around. People don't want to block it.
Yeah, but at the same time, like I don't really want to. I don't know. 3 mana for a 2/4 with death touch. It's I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna stick with an I don't know.
I like this card a lot.
I think it's solid.
It's pretty powerful.
Kind of wish
I
it
think-
had lifelink.
You're just trying to break cards, dude. Relax.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I mean, I understand the death touch, to hopefully not get it blocked, but if it had lifelink, it would help that second mode out a lot.
I mean, I wish I had first strike and vigilance too, dude.
I don't care about those two.
I'm on good card good. You guys are mixed.
I'm on good card, good. No, I'm not mixed.
Okay.
I'm mixed.
I'm mixed.
All right, mixed. Let's move on then. Next up, Unstable Glyph Bridge. Unstable Glyph Bridge is 3 and 2 white for an artifact. It's that when it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, for each player, choose a creature with power 2 or less that player controls. Then destroy each creature not chosen this way. It also has Craft with an artifact for 3 and 2 white. It turns into Roaming Sandspout Glyph. It's a 5/3 artifact creature golem that's got flying, and whenever an opponent casts a spell during their turn, they can't attack you or planeswalkers you control this turn. And each opponent who attacked you or a planeswalker you control this turn can't cast spells. It's kind of an interesting no fun police card, huh?
No fun, police. So like stacks.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Stacks
though.
get stacks here.
Because like, is this a deck is this a card that stacks would want? Like, this is 5 mana for the front half, and then you have to do extra things and another 5 mana to get it to do this stacks effect. Like, it's cool. It's like a pseudo board wipe potentially, and then like the back half does limit your opponent, so like this is gonna stall the game out. But I don't think Stacks wants to be playing anything that costs 5 mana to start slowing its opponents down. Typically, that's the point where it's like you already need to do a pump the brakes.
Well, isn't the front half a board wipe?
It is a board wipe for big creatures.
Well, what if you don't have anything with 2 or less then?
Then yeah, that's why I said it's like a pseudo board wipe. Like it has the potential to just like wreck the board, but at the same time, it also has the potential to not necessarily wreck the board.
I mean, I get your point on the 5 mana and stacks not wanting to play big spells, but I think that's the whole point of stacks is to slow the game down to get to the point where you can win. But if this is just on the journey, it's there.
Yeah, but this is a 10 mana investment on that journey.
That's a lot of mana.
Fuck it.
It is a lot of mana.
It is a lot of mana. And it's easy to kill a creature. So flipping it into a creature is kind of rough.
Scary.
At the same time, it's a 5/3 with flying, so like it can close a game out.
I mean, if they kill it, they can't attack you that turn.
I mean, during their turn, yeah. They can still kill you. I don't know. I am not sold on the old.
I'm mixed on this
Glyph
one now,
Bridge.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Hey, we're all over the place.
Next up, we've got the Black God. It is Aclazotz Deepest Betrayal. It's 3 and 2 black for a 4/4 legendary creature, Bat God. It's got flying and lifelink, and says whenever Aclazotz attacks, each opponent discards a card. For each opponent who can't, you draw a card. And whenever an opponent discards a land card, you create a 1/1 black bat creature token with flying. When Aclazotz dies, return it to the battlefield tapped and transformed under its owner's control. It transforms into Temple of the Dead, which is a land that can tap for a black. It also has another ability we could pay 2 and a black, tap it, transform Temple of the Dead, activate only if a player has 1 or fewer cards in hand, and only as a sorcery.
All these gods.
There is so much text on some of these cards. This is insane.
Yeah.
I feel like Aclazotz, a lot of the times I want these gods to die, especially this one in particular. It's going to be rough having an opponent that has 1 or fewer cards in hand to reactivate that.
I mean, I don't think that whatsoever.
Just play Hellbent or Heckbent, dude, yourself.
I mean,
Plus, you're gonna be making people discard.
you are
Sorry.
included in that pool. So like it's not if an opponent. So I mean you could technically play in a deck that like runs very few cards in hand.
True.
Dude,
Just
this is
run a
this is
discard
black.
theme.
Yeah. This is discard theme all day long.
As far as the card itself, though, I'm actually not a fan.
Why
Doesn't
not?
do
I
enough
am a
for you.
fan.
5 mana is a little bit on the expensive side. This thing really only does something whenever it is attacking. It's kind of minimal gain. You discard, like your opponent's going to discard a card. That's cool. And then you get a 1/1. So, like, it's not like a dead card. And I think, once again, like in draft, this thing is going to be a menace and your opponents are going to have to kill it immediately. Otherwise, it's like you're just going to run away with the game. But outside of that, I think this, I don't know. I just think it's too big and not impactful enough. Just, it's slow.
I love it.
And then, like, I don't know, going back to the Temple of the Dead, the flip side of this, I don't think that transforming it's going to be very easy to do. I think that once your opponent deals with this, it's actually going to be surprisingly difficult to transform this one back.
I disagree.
And now you
I
got to
agree with
land.
that part. But we will talk more when we get to our Commander Grades video on this set. But yeah, Aclazotz, the Black God, is a bat.
Bat God.
Next up, Sanguine Evangelist. It is 2 and a white for a 2/1 creature vampire cleric. It has Battle Cry. In case you forgot, whenever this creature attacks, each other attacking creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. It also
Just hit
says when it enters the battlefield or dies, create a 1/1 black bat creature token with flying.
I like it.
I actually like this card quite a bit too.
Blink the shit out of it.
It's pretty interesting. I think Battle Cry, I feel like we were seeing more. Like they're bringing Battle Cry back.
True.
God, cry me a river.
I mean,
Cry
This is
River.
dead.
Like, this gives you a token and a token with flying for that matter that this is then going to be able to pump. So this is solid.
Yeah, but I mean, it is only a 2/1 though, so it gets blocked by just a 1/1 and dies because it gives other attacking creatures that power buff, not even this.
Yeah, but for 3 mana, this is essentially 4 power that you're going to be swinging in. Because, like, you're going to have the bat on the ATB, and then whenever this thing dies, you get another bat.
Yeah, but the bat doesn't
Bats.
have haste.
I don't think the bat needs to have haste. At that point,
Oh, you
you've got
said-
2 bats.
Oh, no, you said when it's swaying in. Like when this comes in and makes a bat, and then you said 4, whatever. I understand.
I get you. I'm not going to sacrifice this thing. I want this thing to live and live its best little life.
In standard, though, Hunter, I don't know if the 3 slot's very, like, for that mono white deck, dude. I don't know if this is good enough for that mono white
I
deck.
think
What do
this
you
is
think
going
about
to
that?
see play.
I just
I
not in the deck that's
don't-
currently there.
I don't think it takes a
I don't
slot
think it
over what's
does.
there right now.
Yeah.
There's too many good cards.
Too many
have-
good stuff.
Still have every standard set from Innistrad, Midnight Hunt. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna give this an average. This is I'm not sold on this completely.
If this was a vampire cleric soldier, definitely.
Just throw soldiers into it again.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's move
Bat
on
soldiers.
Bat
to
soldier.
bat soldiers. Moving on to another creature. This is Threefold Thunderhulk. It is 7 generic mana for a 0/0 artifact creature gnome. It says it enters the battlefield with 3 +1/+1 counters on it. And whenever Threefold Thunderhulk enters the battlefield or attacks, create a number of 1/1 colorless gnome artifact creature tokens equal to its power. You can also pay 2, sacrifice another artifact to put a +1/+1 counter on Threefold Thunderhulk.
I love this card.
Do you now?
Because of the name.
Yeah.
Fun
This
to
is
say.
like something that I feel like would be in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, and now I'll summon my ultimate monster, Threefold Thunderhulks.
You did that perfectly. Thank you. Like,
This is kind of like a Meyer Battlesphere in a way.
You mean?
Did you just say
Did you
Meyer?
see, yeah. Did you see?
Mirror.
You mean mirror?
Sorry. Mirror.
Hunter's really good
Yeah,
with the words.
keep that in the video. This card's great.
What do you
7
think,
mana,
Dave?
dude.
Card is great.
Does it win the game? I don't think so.
What do you think, Dave?
I mean, at the end of the day, this is 7 mana.
True.
That's my argument.
True. You even threw an end of the day in there, dude.
I did.
Yeah, I don't know about Threefold Thunderhulk.
I love it.
It is one of those cards that, like,
It's
you
so
want to be able to
expensive.
drop and then make it to the late game, but it costs so much, it already is the late game.
Yeah. It's so
And it
expensive.
only
Dude.
comes in as a 3/3 for 7 mana.
I mean, you're clearly not going to be attacking right away. I understand. You're going to sit around and have this be like an artifact.
But
Steven loves it though.
it does continue to just create a bunch of 1/1s as many
True.
times as you can potentially attack.
I mean,
don't
I
know.
just see this slotting, and sorry, everyone at home, we won't really talk about this on our commander grades, so I'm going to talk a little bit about commander here. This just seems really fun in any kind of like artifact themed deck. It doesn't even have to be high power. It costs 2 mana and sacrifice another artifact. You can just sack a clue, you can sack a blood token, whatever kind of artifact you want. Put +1/+1 counter on it, swing with it, and then make all these tiny little 1/1s, and they're like one-fold Thunderhulks. This just seems like a really fun card.
What? One full Thunderhulks. Steven's all in.
I'm not in specifically because David said 7 mana. It's true. This is 7 mana.
Cost reduction everywhere in EDH.
Okay.
It's still 7 up at the top.
It's
You
still-
know what happens if I like reduce the cost and like a 5 mana card?
No, what happens?
It's playable in the mid and late game.
Oh.
Well, let's move on. The next card we're talking about is Sovereign Okinec Ahau. It is 2, a green and a white for a 3/4 legendary creature cat noble. It's got Ward 2. It says whenever it attacks, for each creature you control with power greater than that creature's base power, put a number of +1/+1 counters on that creature equal to the difference. It has to be one of the.
Explain.
All right.
I'll
It's
explain
not
to you.
that difficult of a card.
Shut
Also,
up, shut
I
up.
love this card's name. I might build this just because of it. Okinec Ahau.
Okinec Ahau.
Explain like I'm 7.
Explain like what?
Like I'm 7, please.
Okay. So let's say you have a 2/2 creature.
Yeah.
Right? That's its base power, 2/2.
Okay.
And you have given it a power bump of 3/3, right? So now it is a 5/5. And you swing in with that 5/5. This card sees that card and says, hey, it's got a power bump of a 3 because of the original 2/2. So I'm going to give it 3 more counters. So now it's an 8/8.
What the what?
So you're just playing a bunch of 1/1 chain.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you have like an Anthem effect that gives +1/+1 to your team, this just automatically always is going to give it a counter on top of it.
Interesting.
And then it will continue to do that exponentially.
Why did they just say that in the text?
It does.
Oh.
It's just a little confusing with the way it's worded. I mean, I don't know how else you can word it, but I mean, it gives counters to the difference of its base power. So whatever you pump it up with, if a creature had 5 counters already, it's going to get additional 5 counters when it attacks. And that's wild.
David, I don't think you can make this deck, dude. Hunter calls all the cats.
Yeah, this I want to open this cat, and I'm going to put it in my cat deck.
You probably just buy it. Probably won't be very expensive.
Yeah, but he doesn't buy cards, he opens them.
It's true.
Guys, this and the Battle Cry vampire we saw earlier. Oh,
Yeah?
Yes. It gives 2.
Oh, it gets 2. Let's go.
No, but this card is insanely powerful. I love it.
Ahoo.
Okinec Ahau. I think we're all on board here.
yeah. I mean, I'm just grateful that Celestia finally gets to play around with +1/+1 counters.
Finally.
Yeah, preaching it to me, right? Next up, we have Manzalantli, the Great Door. It is 3 generic mana for a legendary artifact. You can tap it to draw a card, then discard a card. You can also pay 4, tap it, transform Manzalantli, the Great Door, activate only if there are 4 or more permanent types among cards in your graveyard. It transforms into the Core. It is a legendary land that has an ability called Fathomless Descent. You can tap it to add X mana of any one color where X is the number of permanent cards in your graveyard.
Jesus Christ.
That's a lot of mana.
Depending on how many permanents are in your graveyard.
Oh,
I
that's a
personally
lot.
think. Do you say no?
I said, bro.
Yeah, I said I'm gonna assume a lot is in your graveyard.
Okay, well, I was thinking more of the fact that how often do you want to transform that? Because I like just having a filter effect on an artifact.
Yeah, I do have a question. Is the Celestis about to get like rotated out or something?
No.
Okay.
I just look at this and I'm like, I don't know. My mind doesn't go to standard. My mind immediately goes to like any deck that I want to run like an Underworld Breach line. This generates so much mana.
Yes, sir.
That's true. I don't know. Are you transforming? Do you want to transform it immediately, or do you want to wait?
I don't know how much mana do you want.
I mean, probably not
I'm pretty
immediately because
sure-
that's 7 mana.
I'm pretty sure my deck does enough to the point where I could probably transform this pretty soon. I'd probably wait like 2 turns, I guess. I don't know.
I don't think I would transform it. I like the draw a card, discard a card effect.
I mean, don't get me wrong. That is a powerful effect. But like, if I have a deck that is like throwing things in my graveyard, having a land that taps for 30 is like pretty good.
Dave, you weren't here for yesterday, David. This whole fathomless descent, anything with descent. How good do you think Dredge will be with that? Because I told Hunter, nuts.
I mean, Dredge is a great mechanic. There are other ways that you can self-mill or just like mass fill your graveyard too.
Moving on to the final card we're talking about today. That is Tarrian's Journal. It is 1 and a black for a legendary artifact. You can tap it, sacrifice another artifact or creature, draw a card. Activate only as a sorcery. You can also pay 2, tap it, discard your hand. Transform Tarrian's Journal. It transforms into the Tomb of Aclazotz. It is a legendary land that is a cave. You can tap it to add a black mana, or you can tap it. You may cast a creature spell from your graveyard this turn. If you do, it enters the battlefield with the finality counter on it and is a vampire in addition to its other types. Reminder, finality counters. If the creature would die, exile it instead.
Oh, this sucks.
I highly disagree. This is a sack outlet that draws you a card.
1 time per turn rotation.
Steven, this
More
sucks.
than enough.
Is it?
I like that a lot, dude. How often are you sacking something to draw a card? That's doing 2 abilities that could be relevant in a deck.
That's significantly more than just once per turn. And this also is activate only as a sorcery, so you can't even use it like sack in response to something. Also, the second ability there to discard your hand sounds really cool for a reanimation style deck until you read the backside where it says you may cast a creature spell from your graveyard. You still have to pay for it.
It's true.
True. Well, they had to fix it a little bit. I think it would be good in the
Oh, no,
reanimation
David,
style
see,
deck.
what happens is that you're going to put a card in your graveyard when you have a ton of mana, and that card is going to basically draw you. Yeah, just get Razaketh. Boom. Draw all the cards you want.
Boom.
You know what I could do is I could just actually just play that card and not spend the extra 2 mana on it, and then still probably just win the game.
Nah.
This is still a cool card.
No,
I like
it's
the
not.
card. I like the card.
I think it's okay at best. I'm not super high on it.
Well, that's going to do it for us today. That's all the rares and mythics that they showed off. Before we wrap things up, boys, we'll start with Steven. Steven, what's your favorite card?
Threefold Thunderhulk.
You were so ready for that, dude.
He is super ready for my question. David, do you have a favorite card today?
I do. It's the kitty cat goes meow, Mr. Ahau, just because of the name.
I'm going to agree with you. I am on board with the cat as well. That's a really good card. It's got the counter theme. And you know I like my counters.
I like the Preacher of Schism.
Good one. I like that one too. That's where we were on the same page there, Shane.
Yeah.
But comment down below, what was your favorite card that we talked about today? Maybe we missed something when we were discussing these cards that maybe you guys think we missed. Just comment down below letting us know. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already so you're staying up to date with all of the spoilers for spoiler season for the Lost Caverns of Ixalan. Also in the description, you will find links to our Instagram, our TikTok, and our Twitter. That is @GuysThatMagic for each one. Follow us on those as well, especially our Instagram, because we do talk about only the rares and mythics in the videos, but we post every spoiler from Ixalan as they come out, the commons and uncommons as well. And you'll see a link to our Patreon there too. If you want to support us more than you already do, check that link. We got some extra bonus footage in that. And until the next video, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Threefold Thunderhulk.
Bye.